Thank you so much, TJ. Guys, I guess what we're going to start off with tonight, the name of the game, the story of the day has to be the effect the replacements had on the way things were going. I was so intrigued to find out if we would get to replacements, and lo and behold, the action was so impactful. We had not one, not two, but several replacements who came in, and we're going to be asking the big questions like, did they make an impact? And more importantly, will they be blocking certain people from making the playoffs? All that and much, much more in just a second when you come back to see us on the official PGF pre-show. What is up, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, RAF ESPARZA, coming to you live after all of a crazy day 3 here at the PGF. Brandon McCatherine told us earlier in the day, he said, day 3 is where everything changes. It's the day he's most excited for. And I think if you were watching the action along with us today, you could understand why. Stories changed, lives changed, and yes, a few knee joints did change this evening. However, we're here to bring all the best analysis, and joining me today is one, Jake Watson. Jake, how are you doing, sir?
Oh my gosh, day 3 was absolutely intense, and there were a lot of great storylines. Just another day here at the PGF. This has been a marathon for us, and I'm so excited for what tomorrow
Absolutely, holds. And I've been trying to hand the baton off to you, and you won't take it. But right now, we also look at our good friend, one, Tim Freeman. Tim, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Someone needs to call Stitch because day 3 is cut day. We need the inswell. We need a frozen pack of Once Upon a Coconut. We got pops, drops, stops, strains, sprains. The big dogs came to play, and everyone else was relegated to the couch. Outstanding day today, Raph.
You know, sometimes there are things you can rehearse, but that's not one of them. Man. And I'm so glad there was no rehearsal on that. When I get surprised by something Tim's going to say, I'm like, wait, the what? Did he just quote DMX? Are we at now the Rough Riders?
Here, man.
Hey, let's get straight to our first topic of discussion before we start bringing out some guests. But first, the question that I have for the both of you is what we previewed in the cold open, which is, are the replacements impacting the team results? I'm going to start with you, Tim. What do you think about this?
Yeah, they are. I mean, there's a couple instances of it. We have John Combs has had a replacement here and there for Epic Roll with Sam Schwartzapfel kind of filling in for him, and he's given up some tough points. He's come in and fight some tough guys, and that's impacted the Epic Roll score. We've also seen Moose Cody Fritz come in, and he's lost a couple big matches, and it's impacted the score. Dane Leaks put some points on the board. So I would definitely say it's affected teams, but more in a negative way when they needed points to be put on the board. They couldn't quite get it. It is what it is. It's hard to step in on day 3 and really have a big impact because the intensity is so high here. It's hard to just jump in at that level. But, yeah, I definitely think the replacements have had an impact on these teams, Raph.
Interesting. I'm going to come over to you and ask the exact same question, Jake Watson.
Yeah, the exclusion of some of the top-tier athletes coming into this tournament is definitely having a big impact on the teams. But Dane Leak went out there, put together a great victory, put 6 points on the board. He's now sitting at 14th on the seeding, but a good addition to his own score in the team. And I think that some of the athletes were unable to submit the replacements as well, and I think that could bode very well for them in the future, too. So they kind of did their job in that sense where they didn't allow points to be accrued against them, but they weren't able to get a lot of submissions in their own.
I mean, it has been the story of the day, and I was so compelled by it because behind the scenes, we heard Brandon McCatherine telling us that this person was going to do this, or this person's in, this person's out. So I just felt on edge for most of the day. And yeah. I have to tell you this, it's hard not to get involved with so many of these athletes. We become friends with them. Like, a lot of what's happening here is very much a family environment. So although we want great competition, we don't want really anybody to be injured. So we hope speedy recoveries to everybody who's injured. But here's the weird part. Nobody has officially said they're out. we got a lot of people who said, come back to me tomorrow. And tomorrow is the final day to get qualified and the final day to make that impact for your team to win. So with that in mind, I thought we'd actually take a sec to look at where we stand on the scores. So if we could take a look on over to this shot right here, you're going to see popping up really nicely. We're going to go first to our team scores. And still in the lead is X Marshall, but anything can happen here because if you look close enough, you're going to see First Form within striking distance. However, if you are Epic Roll and you are Black Rifle, you are probably asking if you can combine scores and see if you can form an alliance because that is a dangerously large margin. It is going to require your team to perform in multiple rounds, especially given what we saw here today. And if you're looking at the individual scores, let's take a quick look at that. You're going to notice toward the very bottom of things here, we have a lot of people in contention, and some of your top picks are way at the bottom of that top 10. So they're on the edge. They aren't assured making it to the playoffs, but yet if you know them and you're familiar with their work, it's incredibly likely that you could see them rally and come back tomorrow. So everybody, please, we say these things. Anything can happen. We do mean it. So we'll go to our second topic right now. And I think this is a good one for you guys in particular. You had eyes on so much of the action. You captured so much. What was the top moment of the night for you, Jake Watson?
You know, I really like that the ring announcer, Steve Aiken, is doing such a great job of bringing the athletes in the center for an interview at the end. AJ Agazarm and PJ Barch had a particularly interesting piece of banter in the center of the mat. And I think that it's nice to see AJ bring the frustration a little bit out of PJ. PJ, typically a very soft-spoken champion, doesn't have a lot to say. But if anybody's going to bring words out of the Butter Panther, it's AJ Agazarm. And AJ, man, he just grinds people's gears, and it's a heel character that he plays, and we are here for it. And, you know, he's very hard to put away. He has yet to be submitted in the PGF regular season. Everybody wants to be the person to submit the veteran, and he plays into that very, very well. It was a great piece of television.
Number one fan of our post-show and pre-show, AJ Agazarm, who I think is trying to apply to be a producer on the show. He came up and he was like, let's talk about your cold open. I was like, you mean the most viral moment from yesterday? Good try.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on over to Tim. What was your moment of the evening?
You know I told you Jet Thompson, and I really thought about picking him because he did come out and make a statement on day 3 with the quick win against Max Hansen. But the more I think about the overall composition of the 3 blocks today, Elijah Carlton put a bunch of points on the board and has actually moved up into second place. I know he stood us up. I know that he's not exactly being as cordial as we would like him to be, but I think that he's focusing in on trying to actually get to the number 1 spot. Inside BJJ did take a lot of heat by ranking him number 1, but I think we're starting to see that maybe he is a number 1 ranked seed in the PGF. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Hold on. What is the look on your face, Jake Watson?
Shameless self-promotion is what I was getting the stank face
I'm
for.
just stating facts.
Shameless.
I did rank him number 1.
No, I don't disagree with the take. I just think, inside BJJ, follow, like, subscribe, by the way.
You said it, not me.
You're right.
Wow. Let it be known, Jake Watson had a moment where he didn't like that somebody was plugging something on a particular show.
So I've done 16 promos for Once Upon a Coconut.
He's about to cut a commercial when we don't get paid, but he might get paid on this program. Don't do it. If we don't get paid, do it. We've done it already today. Jake Watson, what's your moment? And it has nothing to do with product placement. Go.
I already said it. My moment is PJ Barge and AJ Agazarm.
Well, I wanted to see if you were going to try and cut a promo, but
I'm
you
not
didn't take the bait.
But here's one thing that you can rest assured is that if you want a moment within your own household, you'll bust open a can of Once Upon a Coconut. Lukewarm, cold, or hot. It is delicious. I don't care how you prepare your coconut water.
What you're seeing right now is my soul leaving its body because I definitely tried to make it as subtle as possible. And Jake's like, I've already gone. Why would I do that again?
You can't blame me for not understanding.
I can blame you for a lot of stuff, but not currently because I want you guys to go and head on out. We're going to bring on some of our guests right now. Thank you, gentlemen, for your analysis. I appreciate it. We'll see you back in the show to go over some clips. But in the meantime, we want to say thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to do this. It's a big effort, and it's a big team that we have here. So I want to give thanks to everybody who's been coming along. You know, we thought we'd lead off with our very first guest. And here's the thing about being the first guest. It's a big responsibility. And I thought, how do you bring on a first guest? Maybe you got to go with the top seeded person in the entire event. So I'm going to look on over to my left, stage right, one, Davis Asare. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, thank you.
You seem so relaxed, and everybody else is on edge. And it's perhaps, I don't want to jinx anything, it looks like you're probably going to go to the playoffs, sir.
It seems like it. I think everything has to go horribly wrong for me to not make
Don't do that. We've seen things go. I want to see you there because you know what I want? I want you to get your opportunity that you've been punching. You've been so much fun to watch, man. And what has been the best part to you? Like, what has been your favorite memory of being at PGF thus far in?
I think just the whole experience in general where I'm like able to just compete literally every day, having multiple matches and just gather like all of this like experience.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, like in the previous interviews, like this is like in the beginning of my career kind of, so like the experience I can gather is like gold for me. So just like being here and like becoming a better grappler, that's everything right
When
now.
you say the beginning of your career, how long have you been doing jiu-jitsu?
So I started with 17, so 6 years now.
So about 6 years. Incredibly impressive. You know, I've been, you know, can I get you to move up just a little bit, my man? See, here's the thing. We're gonna make you a purple belt in interviewing by the end of the day. That is my goal. That's what we're gonna pull you up, my man. Because you deserve so much credit for what you've been able to do. I know you're mentioning a lot of the atmosphere and all of that, but do you feel pressure being number one right now? Or are you still in a place where you just go like, hey, now I feel free to go out there and just have good matches?
Exactly. So like when I came into this, I didn't have the expectation of being number one, at least like top 5 or one of the best ones. But now I'm actually here. I'm like, that's kind of cool. And it doesn't surprise me either, you know?
Yeah.
So just the fact of being number one doesn't give me that much pressure. I'm like just trying to do the best like I can and just stay on top.
Well, you also train with some pretty good individuals,
Exactly.
so I think it's a different type of pressure.
Yeah.
But when you said you thought at least top 5, I thought that was one of the most honest moments on the mic because so many of these guys come in here and they're like, I'm number one.
Yeah.
I'm going to be number one. I am number one. You were like, hey, man, even I ranked myself. I'm not quite sure where I fall in. Maybe on a good day I'm 1, rough day I'm 5. And I just thought that endeared me to you so much. I was like, hey, man, I would do the same, except I'd be like, yo, I'm honored to be in the top 20.
Yeah.
But tell me about this. I wanted to ask you, as an observer, what has been your favorite match to watch? Because what's been happening around you is some people get so caught up in their own matches, but then exciting things happen around them.
Yeah.
So what has been exciting to you, sir?
So I've watched a couple of like the matchups I thought would be exciting for myself, just like entertainment wise for me.
Yep.
I think the most entertaining was maybe I think Andy and Renato Canuto.
Yeah.
Like I know people don't like that type of like wrestling kind of exchanging like collar ties and like fainting, but I don't know why I think that's so entertaining to me. And both of them are really like intense, and you never know what's going to happen. So I feel like that was one of my like top 5 favorite matches.
See,
for
this
sure.
tells me you're a technical student. It tells me that you're looking at them and the unknown with two commodities who are so good at explosive movement. You just sit there with tense.
It's crazy because like especially like even when I went against Andy, like it doesn't look like much is going on, but like just the hesitation of seeing him kind of flinch a little bit, like there's a little mind game going on, and you can tell when you watch it like from the outside as well. And I like to watch it. I think it's pretty fun sometimes.
Can you tell me this? Because, you know, I know what I know, which is as an observer. Is there anything that's happening on the mats that has surprised you? Maybe that's not even your opponent's ability or agility. Has there been anything that's kind of made you go, oh, that's a little odd, or, oh, I didn't know that would happen?
Like with the event?
Yeah.
Obviously, like there's a lot of top picks that's not even in the playoffs right now, so it's like kind of like surprising. But to be completely honest as well, it's not like crazy surprising as well because some of these guys like excel very good at some specific promotions. Like ADCC and EBI, like, but this is completely different. Like PGF is submission only. Like you don't win if you do not get a submission. And some of these guys are not submission heavy, so it doesn't surprise me that well. But still, they're like the biggest names, so you would think they'll at least make the playoffs.
Absolutely. Can I ask if there's been any reactions from your home gym? Have you received any text messages? Have you received any notes from anybody?
So, like, the guys that back home in Austin, because I kind of have 2 homes right now. Like,
Sure, okay.
So, because I'm originally from Norway, so I have a lot of friends in Norway. Like, not that deep in jiu-jitsu, but they're watching it like, this is pretty cool. Like, they're giving me like cool feedback. They're following everything. Like, this guy from this other team is fell off, and this like no details that I don't even know. That's pretty cool. The guys back home in Austin and New Wave, they're more like invested in like just seeing how I perform and and like if I win and stuff, like they don't get that surprised because they know my level, they know how good I am as well. So yeah, people are definitely invested.
I'm quite familiar with your friends, so I know that they don't like to celebrate. They have the Kobe Bryant job's not done mentality.
They do.
But I also know that sometimes when you don't submit somebody, you sometimes get a text like, what the hell happened there?
Yeah.
So that's what I was wondering, if you got any random texts.
No, not yet.
Okay.
They're more like,
they're coming. Don't worry.
There's
I know
a lot of matches to go still.
Fortunately, you have points because you've been doing pretty well in the submissions.
Yes.
So walk me through this, man. How do you see the rest of the week playing out for you?
So, like realistically looking, I think this was probably the hardest day for me because I had Renato and Max.
Yep.
And both of them were seated pretty high. No, sorry, I had Max and Daniel. So tomorrow, my only like super hardest match with like the top 3 is Renato Cunito.
Yep.
So that's going to be a hard match, my first match. And after that, I have a little bit lower seated who has not done as well as him. So I feel like it's looking kind of good.
Okay.
And I feel confident against Renato. Like, I can submit him. I believe I can. It will be hard, but we'll see.
Well, we're very excited to watch that happen. I guess I have to say this to everybody. We're all Switzerland here. We're just happy to be witnesses to it. And I've been very impressed by your composure and your jiu-jitsu that you've been putting out here, man.
Thank you
it's
so
excellent
much.
work, and I look forward to seeing what you do for the rest of the week.
So
Congratulations so far, and keep it up, my man.
Thank you
so much. Davis Asare, everybody. Man, what a nice kid. I like this kid. We're going to talk with him more, I'm pretty sure. So, all right, we're going to bring on another guest. This man, when I said, hey, come on the show, he was like, you want to bring me on like this? And I said, what better way to bring you on? And my man, even though you're a little marked up, you still look like $1,000,000. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, one Cam Hurd. Cam, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Very well, my man. So I wanted to bring you on because here's what's happening. You have experience in this.
Yes.
You know how this goes. And yet, when you know you needed to turn it up right at the top of the day, you went guns a-blazing. So win, lose, draw, whatever's happening with you, I'm seeing you put it out there today, man. So
Absolutely.
How is it feeling from your side?
I mean, I feel like, I'm doing what I came here to do. I'm going toe-to-toe with the best guys in the world. I'm getting an opportunity to, show people what I'm all about. And, I would rather get caught going for something than sit around and stall. I know a bunch of people are watching back home. They're trying to make it, or, I want the PGF to be something that people look forward to. I want people to look forward to when I fight. So I'm trying to build that reputation of being, I don't care who it's against. I'm going to bring it 110% every single time until they make me stop.
You really do. And I mean, what's funny to me is I'm looking at the way you look right now, and it looks like you're in combat jiu-jitsu. So I feel like I'm at the wrong event interviewing you at the moment.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite part of the experience thus far in, sir?
I mean, honestly, just getting to know some of these guys that are at the top of their game and the top of the jiu-jitsu game, ADCC veterans, world champs. These guys have years of knowledge and experience that I'm just trying to rub elbows with and pick up a little bit off of.
Yeah.
So, the coaches, the competitors, just being around these guys and getting to spend some time with them has been really cool. The practices, getting to pick some of their brains and workshop some stuff and get their feedback on my matches has been awesome because, each day I feel like I'm getting just a little bit better. Even like the amount of points I gave up on the first day compared to the second day compared to today, it's going in the right direction. And I'm just trying to make small improvements each day, and eventually, I'll start turning these tough matches into victories.
Can I ask, as somebody who's had experience with this previously, what has been the biggest difference from what you knew it as to what you are seeing it as right now?
I mean, one, just the venue and the production it was great in season 5. For season 6, they've just taken it to a whole new level. And also the caliber of each match. It's like there are no dunk days. There's no easy days. Every day you're like, oh shit, I got an ADCC veteran, or I got a world champ. So each day is a challenge, and just the physicality and the level of competition is much higher than it's been.
We need to talk about your fit, because I went up and I made sure to compliment you. Now, yeah, David showed up in a suit. Not the top stylish here. That
No.
was you, sir.
Thank
How
you.
do you feel about
Thank you.
being named my most stylish person here at the PGF on draft day?
It's an honor. I appreciate that. That's what when I had in mind when I realized that I was going to be here. I got the invite. I'm like, well, I'm stunting at the draft. I'm coming out here. I'm gonna put a little something on, and I'm gonna make sure I look professional. It's our professional sport. This is the NFL of jiu-jitsu right now.
Exactly.
So you see these guys in the press conferences in the NFL, and they look professional. They take seriously their fashion, and I got to shout out one of my sponsors, Two Minds. It's one of the high-end boutiques up in New York City and down in Miami. They help me with my travel. They help me with some of my outfits. So I got to give them some credit. They helped me out for sure. But that was the goal, showing up to the draft and making sure I stand out and look good while I do it.
Mission accomplished, man. You did that with flying colors, and I was so impressed because I looked at you and I thought you're the most like somebody who's going to show part of your personality without even saying a word. And that's so important in terms of branding and getting people excited about this, because what people don't understand is they think that branding happens just from talking or from your actions on the mat. It's everything. It's from the start to finish. So when I went up to you, I was like, we've never really gotten to talk in person, but I'm obviously familiar with your work, but I felt like I knew you better from that. So it definitely opened up doors for me. Question for you. What has been the best match that you have witnessed here so far?
That's a tough one because every day is, match after match, block after block is just bangers. I got to, I guess, say Andy and PJ, even though it was a draw, just the whole couch jitsu was pretty viral.
So are you an off-the-mats person? Because you come from a wrestling background, and I have to – this is my whole contention. I'm going to give you my pitch here, okay? Wrestlers have it together. You're not going to see wrestlers going off into the popcorn stands for the Olympic trials. However, us, for our version of the Olympics, oh, man, this dude's already at the bathroom.
Yep.
So where do you stand on this, sir?
I love it. I love a good carpet sub, or a concrete sub in this case. Are you
worried about your head, though? I'm worried about your head, your body. And I'm already seeing you go off mats. And I thought to myself, is this man okay?
I just think about that after the fact. It might not be the smartest, but like I said, I'm trying to send it every match. I'm trying to bring it 110% until they grab me and say, hey, you got to stop. And if that includes going off the mat, that includes going off the mat. Doesn't affect me one way or the other.
Copy that. Not rolling with you. Understood now. All right. I'd like to ask this. What has been your favorite moment for you at this experience so far, sir?
Oh, man, that's tough. I guess since I got on the board today with my first break, that's got to be the highlight of the week so far. I've had some tough matches. The duck under on PJ probably is up there. It's a little bit of a feather in my cap. I know I ended up losing that heel hook there at the very end. But to be able to stand toe-to-toe with somebody like that I really respect a lot and look up to, also a college wrestler, it means a lot for me to be like, hey, you can stand in there and bang with these guys. So
I'm going to be honest. For wrestlers, it's bragging rights. You may not win, but you did win some bragging rights. Yes. And I'm pretty sure PJ's going to go, I'm happy I got that heel hook. But, I mean, every time he sees that, he's going to be like, yeah, I did get that. All right. Yeah. I gotta give him props for that,
Yeah, that duck under is probably going to be on my Instagram here soon.
As it should be. You earned that, sir. I want to say this, man. It's been a pleasure to get to know you. I'm very happy to see your work. And I want you to know that how I view this experience is not necessarily by points. It's more of the experience overall. And I feel like you definitely put a stamp of yourself and you represent yourself and your style well. And especially, I was trying to highlight you, especially from your ADCC performance. I thought that was very, very solid. So
thank you.
I have a lot of respect for what you're doing. And I look forward to talking with you more in depth in the future as well, sir.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. Well, pleasure. Thank you so much, my man. Cam Hurd, everybody. Again, you guys can't get injured on your way out. Like, I can't have Brandon come up to me and be like, who got injured on your stupid interviews, Raf? All right, bring it on over right now. A longtime friend of the show. He unfortunately did take a bit of an injury. We wanted to hear from the man himself, so we thought we'd bring on our good friend, Mike John. Mike, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing really well, Raf. Thank you for having me.
Can I just say this real quick? Obviously, we're going to put aside our normal feud, but I saw you put up an Instagram post where you were like, hey, man, Obviously not a good day at the office, which is my expression as well.
Right.
But you were putting it on the bright side, which is I got to do this and I got to be here and I'm still here.
Yeah.
So why do you feel that way when so many other people could get dragged down on like, man, I'm out, I can't do this, I can't do that?
There's just no point in focusing on that kind of stuff, you know? Like I'm here doing what I love with the top 1% of the world. I'm not gonna have any easy days, and to be honest, I don't want any easy days. I want the tough days. I want to know I'm good. Obviously, I didn't get the result I wanted. Blah 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 blah. But I'm choosing to focus on the other brighter parts of being here. You know, I can focus on the leg break. I can focus on a bunch of things. But what I am gonna focus on is PGF treats us really fucking nice. Really. I don't know if I can say that on the air.
You know, it's weird because everybody's used to being on my show and I go, no, do what you want. Here I'm kind of like, I mean, less is better, but you know, things slip out. You're a human.
I am a
but
human.
explain it.
The Airbnb situation, meeting all these cool people, you know, like there's a moment yesterday where before I go get highlighted by Hanato, we're all on the mats just chilling in the back. It's like me, Andy, PJ, I think Davis is there, I think Elijah's there. We're all just chilling in the back, just talking, you know, which you don't really see that a lot in like MMA or other sports like that. But we're just having a good time, and I think that's a big part of not just like good for your mental, but a good thing for life. You know, just focus on the positive. Really,
absolutely.
And it sounds, you know, all hippie and all that, but like, you know, you can focus on the bad, you can focus on the good. I'm gonna focus on the good and try and feel good at all times.
I want to ask this because I don't know what the house dynamics have been like or who you've gotten to gel with or connect with. Is there anybody here that you've gotten to gel or connect with?
Honestly, a lot. Like, so you guys know Samson. He actually comes to my 11 a.m. class pretty likely, so I already know him. But I didn't really know Elijah Carlton too much. I only really know him as the heel on YouTube or PGF.
The character, if you would, on TV.
Yeah. And he, like, not to spoil his character, sweetheart.
He's a sweetheart.
Huge sweetheart.
He is bad at showing up, though. Let's be very clear about this. We did say he was supposed to be here. For whatever reason, he wasn't. But you know who was watching? Elijah Carlton yesterday.
His attendance is not the best, but his character is superb.
We'll talk about that more later. I'm sure he and I will have words about that at a different time. But that's really cool. Yeah. That's very cool to see. And I want to ask actually about the Samson thing because it's very rare that people are going to partner up to drive all the way out here. What was that drive like? Because you guys do train together and you were both on this experience together.
Right. Once again, I think that, like, I was talking to Raquel Canuto, and she's like, this is jiu-jitsu, you know. You just see the same people over and over and over again in the same circuits. I saw Samson at the qualifier. I see Samson at Subversive. You know, I'm gonna see him everywhere, kind of thing like that. Even if he's not on my team, I'm still gonna do my best to help that guy. You know, I think that we can all help each other, so it doesn't really matter.
I also want to give you props because I think you do what I would like to be if I got caught like you did with Canuto, which is I have to be honest, that was cool.
It was dope.
It just sucks that it happened to me.
Yep.
And I like to tell people that regularly where I'm like, I'm so angry that it happened to me, but I also show me the tape because I'm very impressed by it.
I watched it a bunch last night. I tell you, I did. It's like, all right, there, you know. But, you know, real recognize real. I respect it, you know, and Canuto's cool, you know. So it's just you as a martial artist, I think it was beautiful.
Yeah. What has been your best memory here thus far in, sir?
Man, I wish I could bring up some sick-ass submission, but it's literally just hanging out with all these cool motherfuckers in the back, talking. Once again, slipped up, I'm sorry. The Airbnb situation, it's all cool. I just feel like I'm being treated like such a rock star, you know, because if you think about it, most promotions, you're paying to go compete. Yeah. You're not getting anything back, and a lot of it's on your own dime. Here, you know, we're getting reimbursed for a lot of our stuff. We have Airbnb set for us. We do cool interviews like this. This feels like I'm on ESPN. Like, holy shit.
That's
you know?
what we want,
like,
my man.
So it's just like...
And you know, it's what you deserve. You have been grinding. I know how much you work with your school. I know how long you've been working. I've been there for the come up. I've been there for your ups and your downs. And for me, seeing a lot of my friends get what they want, it's like, isn't this what we should have every, like, year or a couple months or anything like that? Yeah. You get so mad when you see people at football being like, another game, basketball, another game. Yeah. You think about it, you go, oh my goodness, this is what you guys deserve.
This is the platform we need, you know. Even all like the backstage vlog or media stuff, that's kind of cool. You know, I got Dave Keel following me around the camera a little bit, and they're kind of catching all the heat of moments, like the Max and Daniel kind of, you know, fight. It's all been an amazing experience, personally.
Well, I want to tell you this. You deserve it. I wish you nothing more but continued success in that realm. I'm so happy you're okay because what I like to do with my friends before I even say the words "come on the show" is I'm like, "Are you okay?" Because if you're not, we're not doing the interview. But once I saw you, you were back out here coaching your team, and I thought that was awesome, man. So it's true to the character I have known you to be for so long, and I'm hoping that other people will get to see further examples of your work in the near future, sir.
I'm not going anywhere. I know for the 55s, I'm coming right back here, so I'm not going anywhere. They're going to see a lot of me.
My man, Mike John, thank you for sticking around for us. It means the world to me. Love you, brother. Please enjoy the rest, and good luck to you and your team, sir.
Thank you. I'm going to be coaching. You'll see a lot of me.
I saw you at work. I was like, this man's not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere.
All right, my man. Please. Thank you so much, brother. He was like, please, everybody, don't stop killing the athletes.
It's because he wore Crocs.
Oh, my. Don't blame him. You're now victim blaming at this point. Oh, look at that. He wore Crocs like a slut. Whoa.
Wow. Jeez.
Hold on. Wait,
Cody.
I'm so sorry. You guys got... Hold on. Wait,
Raph,
hold on.
I
am
think
so
it's
sorry
time
you
to
had
move
that
to the
mess.
next bit.
Hold on. That's what we're getting upset
And
with.
in other things, Jake.
Like, legitimately,
It's going great.
Elijah
We've had
Carlton
great
exists in a
conversations
world,
with
and
AJ Agazarm.
that's what
trying
we're going to go
to
with?
save Raph right
Get
here.
out
but
of here.
He doesn't want to be saved.
We'll
apparently.
clip that.
Keep digging.
All right. Keep digging indeed. Yes, I'm sorry to make this more interesting. Hey, you guys had a great conversation. Who are you guys chatting with?
We were chatting with AJ Agazarm.
And how is he doing?
He's AJ Agazarm.
Did he have some feedback for the show? I'm really hoping he did.
He had some feedback, but it was pretty much the standard AJ villain feedback.
Yeah. Saboteur, and even tried to saboteur this show.
Absolutely.
Intriguing
It's so
to see.
interesting that you have like two portions of your left ear where you can both hear Mike John and you can
AJ.
hear the
The conversation being happening.
It's
It's called being able to multitask
There you
and
go.
Be present in two conversations while at the same time. All right, guys. Speaking of which, I want to give you guys some time to shine. Right now, we're going to put on some highlights from the day. Now, what I always love about these is that these two gentlemen actually made the packages themselves, and they actually made the package that I'm going to do a voiceover for. So we're going to go ahead and throw, I think, first on over to you, Tim. You took care of the first block of 10 matches.
Jake.
Actually, that's going to be me.
My
Raph, but
apologies.
That's all right.
Go right ahead, Jake.
This is what we saw in the first block. Out of the gate, so many submissions. Daniel Sadler, you just had Mike John in the chair probably explaining. I was listening to AJ Agazarm, so I didn't hear that part of the conversation, but he's likely out of the tournament. Hinata Canudo catches a quick Estima lock as well. And then as Kevin Buring is going for an outside heel hook, AJ, so good at finding that leg drag heel hook. He's done that on multiple occasions. Also in the chair, your second interview of the night, Cam Hurd just ripping a Kimura. And you know what? That was kind of the tale of block one, Raph, is just submission after submission. And that man right there now seated second, or at least seated in the second place position in the standings, Elijah Carlton. Wow, block one was just rife with action.
You know, as somebody who's been in this place many times before, I think Elijah knew today was a make or break day.
Yeah.
So I think you're seeing a little bit more of the game face on. And even when he's cutting those promos on the floor like Iron Man, he's basically telling you, you know what? I wanted to give you guys the character, but I've also got to conjure the energy for these massive superstars I'm still going up against.
Yep.
So props to him for making a huge comeback today. Tim, now we'll go to you.
All right, let's go day three, block two. Jet Thompson popping off against David Evers, and he finishes Evers with a nice popping ankle lock, man. David Asare did not want to be outdone. He set up a leg lock of his own against Daniel Sadler, and Sadler actually kind of screamed out in pain and actually dropped out after that submission. Cam Hurd hits a bro hug in the beginning against Elijah Carlton, and you know, despite what people say about Elijah Carlton, he's finding a way to keep putting points up on the board with another kill, and he is stoked here, fired up for himself and his team. Max Hansen is staying right there in contention. He takes on the alternate Sam Schwarzenfeld and gets the back and finishes with a very tight squeeze. And Max, despite getting a little banged up, you guys, he's finding a way to stay in there, and he's finding a way to stay right in contention. Andy Varela takes on the alternate Cody Fritz, and Fritz kind of had a rough day today. He came out pretty tight against Varela, but Varela didn't like it. He didn't put him in the couch this time. No slaps, but he did take his back and choke him out under the watchful eye of Trauma, the PGF Season 6 mascot hanging out right there on the sidelines. Varela continues to impress, putting points up on the board. It was a great day today at the PGF.
Man, you're not lying. And I feel like now you know the stakes. We kind of know some players. Are you willing to make any predictions before we go home and kind of debrief as to who you see could emerge tomorrow like Elijah might have today?
Man, I got to say, Max Hansen had a great day. If Max Hansen's able to use this as sort of a stepping stone to build some momentum, then he can definitely break into that top 8. And I think PJ Barch and Hanano Canuto are both motivated. You can tell they know their backs are against the wall. If they don't do well tomorrow, there is no Friday for them. So my prediction is we're going to see them come out guns blazing, and they might just make it into that top 8.
Yeah.
Tim.
I really think the battle's going to be the guys near the bottom of the top 8. That's where we're going to see the most variation. Guys like Cam Hurd, like you mentioned, Jake, PJ Barch, Hanato Canuto, all those guys are hanging out in contention, and they just need a score or two to kind of make the top 8. So I can see those guys really making a play. I think Barch is going to come out big tomorrow. I know I said that today. He did get the heel hook finish. I think he's going to come out big tomorrow. I think he's feeling it, and I'm looking for that.
I mean, I've just been looking at this, and it's so hard when you're talking with the guys to get into a space of, man, I don't want to tell you you're out of the picture because there's still so much that could happen. So, for example, you would have to get 3 kills in a row within the minute, and you could potentially get 21 points. So even though we think we know what we know, a lot could change tomorrow. And as a result of that, yeah, things could move around on that scoreboard, but we've had 3 days to see some evidence, and it moves just in little increments. So when we're looking at those people who are tied for 10th, that's where the margin of inches is going to be critical, brutal, and surprising. And I think that's why I've been so excited to sit here and witness so much of it. We have one more day of 30 matches here tomorrow,
Wow.
and I don't know if you guys have been taking a look, but there are some very solid matches there tomorrow.
Yeah, there are.
They space these out incredibly well, so I'm very excited about that. Gentlemen, one thing I did want to kind of try to segue into before we sign off here tonight is I don't know if people know where we go or where we belong to. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Tim Freeman, because maybe let the people know who you are.
Let the people know. Well, shameless self-promotion. I'm the host of the Inside BJJ podcast. I've been doing that for a long time, just like my buddy RAF ESPARZA here. I think he's got me beat by a month or two on the podcast game, but we've been at it for a minute. I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I've been training since 2005. I absolutely love it. Trained in the gi for a lot of years. I run 2 10th Planet schools, one in Nashville and the other out in the 209 Stockton. That's where I get my street credential from. That's where I was street licensed. So I keep that with me everywhere I go. Big fan of jiu-jitsu, big fan of this kind of work. I've been around doing, I did Metamoris. I was there. I did the World Jiu-Jitsu Expo in 2012. It's amazing to still be around, still be on the mats, and still be in the jiu-jitsu community. I feel really blessed and grateful for that.
Jake Watson, tell the people about you, sir.
So in the last 4 years, I've grown to be one of the most consistent and busiest commentators, broadcasters, ring announcers in the entire Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community. You guys have likely seen me on a number of different shows, ranging from small to very large. I'm a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, first degree, under Andre Maracaba from Maracaba BJJ down in Mesa, Arizona. I'm a 3-time Muay Thai national champion as an amateur, a junior Golden Gloves boxing champion. I have a 3-0 record in MMA, mostly on Indian reservations. And aside from that, I've competed in Pancration, went all the way out to Sparta, Greece at one point and competed there as well. So I am credentialed in the mixed martial arts scene, and it is my dream to be a full-time broadcaster. I want this talent to feed my family. So that's why I'm hard at work here, and I appreciate the opportunity to be a part of the post-show here at PGF World Season 6.
Can I ask what the Indian reservation had to do with that?
When you're 15 years old, doing full contact MMA with no headgear on is kind of frowned upon. But on the Indian reservation, you can do a lot of stuff.
Live, yeah. Were your
They don't-
hands wrapped properly?
Oh, my goodness.
Absolutely.
Look at this, man.
Did you wear a mouth guard?
Absolutely.
Top tier.
Nice.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Turned
You better be careful.
No, I just didn't.
I'll put it on
was
the lips,
dangerously
dude.
close.
That's why I went to the top of your head.
You know how I roll.
You didn't want to mess with my hairline, you see?
I just,
That was scary. I honestly got
What's
a
the
little.
obsession with people grabbing my head today?
I don't know, bro,
It's
good
good
luck.
pre and post.
It's
You
good
do
luck.
have two of the most beloved 10th Planeteers of all time.
Look how long
Basically
my
coming
arm
on
looks.
over.
It looks
Dapping,
like my arm
laying,
is so
laying
long.
hands on me, man. I feel it. I can feel it.
My
Feel
goodness.
good.
You know, it's so funny because I don't think people know, but we're like just on the verge. Like, this is me telling people your captain's made the announcement. You can return your trays upright. We're about to make a landing. And you don't know how the landing's going to go.
You never know.
It's almost like somebody goes, oh, don't worry about that. One of the engines caught fire. But
That's right.
we'll have a landing.
That's
It'll
right.
work. All right, let's get to me. My name is RAF ESPARZA. I've been doing podcasting forever. You guys have seen me through my work on either Verbal Tap or on the Grappling Hour. And outside of this, my big kid job, I work in entertainment. I've worked scripted, late night, you name it. Reality, game shows, I love it. I love bringing that passion to this. So a lot of what we try to do here is take a little bit of what we all do in our expert fields and loan it to here because we believe in this. We want to see it do better. And when I hear the athletes giving us compliments for making them feel like they're on ESPN or they feel like they're on some kind of major platform, well, guess what? You are. You're on UFC Fight Pass now. So as a result of that, we're making those incremental steps here. So all of us loan what we do to try and make this even better and bigger. And I think we are slowly inching that ball forward. So I'm very happy to be here. And yes, I train all the time. Not this week though.
No.
Very, very fat. Very
No.
fat this week.
Yeah.
Blood pressure very high.
Tacos and pizza.
So yeah, man.
Whatever you can
basically,
eat at 9 p.m.
at this
in Las
point,
Vegas.
we're one of these guys is going to get tasked with figure out where we are eating post show.
Yeah.
But I do want to, before we sign off, thank everybody who's been working behind the scenes so diligently. There are so many people you do not get to see, and I have such an appreciation for them, and we will continue to thank them. But I wanted to specifically do it before it is too late because they have been killing themselves, long hours, early mornings, you name it. Lots of stuff with just pure love being made here. So big thanks to them and big thanks to all of you who have been watching. And I got to say this, in the comment section, I know we're joking with you guys, but when I see that passion, it's making us more excited to come back and do it every single morning. And I guess we're saying this, tomorrow we come back, 30 more matches. You want to be here at 3:30 p.m. on whatever channel you're watching now, whether it's Brandon's channel, UFC Fight Pass, PGF World, wherever you're watching this on Caffeine. I don't care where it is. Come back tomorrow, 3:30. Watch the pre-show with us. Stay for the matches all the way through, all 30 of them, and find out who is going to make it to the playoffs on Friday. And then at the very end of our event, you will see us back here for another post-show with more interviews, more analysis, and more nonsense. So I guess what I'm saying is, on behalf of my good friends, Jake Watson and Tim Freeman, who are two of the best in the business and two of the best varied talents in our business.
Well,
thank you so much for watching, guys. We appreciate you so much. It's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.